Hey guys, Joel's back with another reasoning session where I challenge the status quo of the wisdom of the world and the church by diving deep into ancient scriptures, uncovering meanings hidden over translations through the centuries, really tapping into the metaphysical applications of these ancient texts and applying them practically to situations in our present day. And today I'm going to be talking about the male and female aspect of Elohim.
Come now and let us reason together. Come now, we can talk it over.
But before I begin, I gotta say, if you like these videos, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe for more, because we are fast approaching a tipping point, and some of us have already crossed over, but as a whole, as a species, we are all moving forward into a new way of doing things, a new paradigm, a new state of being, literally Earth 2.0. But with that out of the way, I'm just gonna jump right into it. Today we're going back all the way to the beginning, to the book of Bere'shit, the very first chapter where it says, and actually I'm gonna read it from the Hebrew and paraphrase, Vayomer, and he said, Elohim, that's the masculine plural for the female noun Allah, meaning God or deity. Namaste, we will make, we will fashion, Adam, humanity. V'tzelmenu, in our image. The word Salaam, meaning image, actually stems from the root tzel, meaning the shadow or the outline of the same thing. Kidmutenu, like our likeness. Likeness stemming from the word damut. And Hebrew is an agglutinative language where it adds these consonants either before or after the word to convey concepts like or our or and, in. All those kind of concepts that we use prepositions or pronouns for in English are conveyed by these letters in Hebrew. So that's why one word can mean like a full phrase. So back to the text, it's saying that Elohim said, we will fashion the man or the mankind or the human in our image and like our likeness. And then it goes on to say in the next verse, Va'ibra, and he created Elohim et ha'adam, the man. Et being a peculiar Hebrew preposition that denotes the receiver of the action of the sentence. So Elohim created the man, B'tzalmo, in his image. B'tzalem Elohim, in the image of Elohim, bara oto, he or it made them. Zakar, male, undeva, and female, bara otam, he created them. So we see that right here in the nature of God comes this duality matrix, both male and female. In verse 27, when it says, and Elohim created the Adam, it doesn't say he created the male, zakar in Hebrew, and it doesn't say he created the man, ish in Hebrew. It says he created the Adam, ha'adam, the humanity, the whole species, b'tzalmo, in his image. And then it goes on to say, b'tzalem Elohim bara oto, in the image of Elohim he created them. Zakar undeva, both zakar and nedeva, male and female. Both of those concepts exist in the totality that is Elohim, because Elohim isn't a physical concept. Elohim is not a human, but both male and female aspects exist in Elohim. Both Father Adam was made in the image of Elohim, and Mother Chava or Eve was made in the image of Elohim. And there's numerous passages throughout the Hebrew scriptures that actually refer to the feminine nature of God. I'm just going to cover a couple from the oracles of Isha, where he says, can a woman forget her sucking child? This is Yahweh speaking about Zion or Jerusalem. That she should not have compassion on the son of her womb? Yea, they may forget, yet will I not forget you. And in the very last chapter of his oracles, Ishayahu, speaking on behalf of Yahweh, says, as one whom his mother comforts, so will I comfort you, and you shall be comforted in Jerusalem. So we have this concept hidden right in front of our faces in the Hebrew tradition, but it's been glossed over by the Babylonian Talmud and what came out of that with rabbinical Judaism and how that's progressed over the ages, because that's just run by a bunch of patriarchs who literally pray every morning, thank you, Lord, that I was not born a woman. This is what rabbinical Judaism actually espouses. But going back to the very beginning, we see that when Elohim created the heavens and the earth, it says that the spirit of Elohim moved upon the face of the waters. So this is another aspect of Elohim. And when Elohim said, "Let there be light," there was light. So what went forth from Elohim to actually be the catalyst to create light? Well, it was the word. And that word, which was the self-same essence of Elohim, like we read in the Evangelion of Yohanan, or John in English, it says, "In the beginning was the word," or the Logos, "and the Logos was with God, and the Logos was God." It goes on to say, "All things were made by him. Without him was not anything made that was made." This is that which went forth from Elohim as a seed to impregnate that spirit of Elohim. And from that command came the manifestation of light. And even if you look at the Greek word for manifestation, phaneros, that literally means to make evident through light. All things that we see are light condensed into different vibrations that we perceive of as physicality. When coharmonic vibrations of that same light frequency interact, we have the interaction of matter, and it appears to be solid substance. But it literally is just this seed of Elohim, the word that goes forth from the source of Elohim and reacting with the spirit of Elohim, the womb or the matrix of Elohim, to create physical reality. Now that's a bit metaphysical here, but literally in the Hebrew tradition, the spirit, the manifest presence of Elohim that would show up between the cherubim of the Ark of the Covenant was literally called the Shekhinah, which can be interpreted as the manifest presence, literally from the root to dwell. And that itself had a feminine nature in the old school understanding before it was co-opted by this patriarchy. But this is almost as ironic as the Hippocratic texts, which were supposedly compiled by Hippocrates, this ancient male Greek doctor that did all this work with medicine, initiating all male students in his school. And right there, the texts are talking about gynecological medicine, saying you can't trust those male doctors. Right there. It's almost that ironic. But back to point, we see that Elohim does have both the male aspect and the female aspect and the child aspect. All three are manifest in the nature of Elohim, and the source sends forth the word is the seed. And look what it says in Paul's epistle to the church at Galatia, in which he says, "But Jerusalem which is above is free, which is the mother of us all." Now there's a whole lot more that I could get into in that whole analogy that he plays out with Mount Sinai as Hagar and Mount Jerusalem as Sarah, and its relationship with the children of Israel contrasted to the ecclesia, or the church, the real church that is. But this episode is already getting pretty heavy, so I'm just going to leave it off with this quote from the very end of the Apokalupsis, where he says, "And the Spirit and the bride say, 'Come.' And let him that hears say, 'Come.' And let him that is athirst come, and whoever will, let him take the water of life freely." And right there, we do understand that both the Spirit and the bride are that feminine receptive aspect of source. When the Father source sends forth that living word, the Logos, as the seed, and at the consummation of the marriage supper of the Lamb, we have this final promise of restitution to unity, Yechida, as our inheritance. Oh, but I already know that this subject has gotten really heavy, and I've probably gone a bit too deep for a really short expose like this video. But you know what? We are waking up, and you can handle it. That's the whole reason why you're here, because you're learning these deep things that, the institution, man, they've capitalized on. They've monopolized aspects of society, and they've actually denigrated a whole half of our species, because the greatest insult that we can do to the full nature of Elohim and to the feminine side of society is to say that God is absolutely male. That is the biggest insult to the isness that manifests both. So don't be ruled by the ignorance and the limitations of institutionalized religion. Really tap in and understand that source is transcendent, and that all things that we see are a manifestation of source downloading that image into our physical reality. So with that being said, I love you guys. I'll check you in another reasoning sesh. Joel signing out once again. Agape. Salaam. Namaste. Shalom.